everyone. How are you doing? Well, I don't know. Somebody says how you're doing. So I'll take it you're doing really well and having a good old time. Okay. So I thought about a topic to talk about basically to myself because that's all I'm talking to is myself. But anyhow, this is an interesting topic because I've not ventured into it, and I think there was a book written about this. It's called The Law of Attraction. And I was watching a vlog where they were talking about, I don't know what, I guess they just said the word attractive or something. I don't know what made me think of it. But I remember hearing about the law of attraction. Like I say, I think it was a book. So anyhow, it said an example. I went to Google, work today for some reason. And so I think I just wrote law of attraction. I don't remember. So it said an example. Well, you know how when you look something up, it says questions or people ask. I don't really know. But anyhow, it said someone asked an example. Or they gave an example and says, and of course I'm not going to remember it verbatim, but it said, for example, and there's 3 stages of law of attraction according to what I read. I don't know what they are because that's not what I'm talking about today. But anyhow, it says an example. If you have a pile of bills and you keep, oh, it was written so nice. I should have wrote it down. But anyhow, back up. If you have a pile of bills that you don't know where the money's going to come to pay for them, that will only attract, because I knew the word attract was in there, that will only attract more bills. So immediately, what I thought, that doesn't make sense to me. And this can be in, it's not really two, you know how I always say there's always 2 choices in life? Well, yeah, I guess this could be 2 choices. But the examples I'm going to give you aren't like, never mind, just scratch all that. Okay, anyhow. So, if I'm looking at my mortgage, my water bill, my sewer bill, my garbage bill, I'm trying to think of things that got to do with your house. Did I say garbage? Oh, I gotta do that story about the my power company. I forgot. I have to remember. But there's no one to remind me. Anyhow, okay, so if I'm looking at my mortgage, which went up $300, which I don't understand at all, because it's never gone up that much. Okay, so mortgage went up, water and sewer went up. I think they're all water and sewer on the same bill. Pretty sure. Mortgage, water, sewer. What did I just say? Oh, the power bills, I say that. And garbage. Okay. Those are just bills and the necessity of the house. Which, as you all know, I'd rather not have my house because it's too big for me, too much money and so on. And like I said, since I don't have a job, I can't get an apartment because you can be piss poor broke, have bad credit, but as long as you got a job, you can get an apartment. But anyhow, so I was thinking about those bills because basically if you have a house, well, unless you're filthy rich, you have those bills. I don't know if filthy rich people pay their power. Well, I can't pay your power in band. Well, I guess you can. I don't know. Anyhow, back to reality. So if I'm thinking of those bills, the last thing on my mind would be to acquire any other new bills. So I think the angle they're coming at is people, let's say, and I'm not saying all people that live in an apartment charge stuff, but to me, I have to use an example, so I don't know. I just can't figure with the slide here. Okay, so say somebody lives in an apartment, and all they have is their apartment bill. I don't remember. There's something else you got to pay an apartment. I don't remember what it was. I don't think, well, you're not supposed to have to pay for the water, but I guess there's a big to-do here. These people lived in an apartment, and they were made to pay the water, and they weren't supposed to, and then they took the landlord to court or something. I don't know. But anyhow, so say a person lives in an apartment, and let's say they don't have any charge cards. Well, let's say they have a few, because otherwise my story won't work. Okay, so they have some charge cards, and their apartment, the rent went up, let's say. And whatever it is you have to pay, the other thing. And maybe, I know if you want a carport, a lot of places you have to pay. So you got to pay for your apartment, your carport, and I don't know, maybe electric. Yeah, because I don't think there's any gas stoves in apartments. Okay, so let's say, so they got an increase in that. So, and they're thinking, how are they going to pay it? So I can see now that example. So they might think they'll take one of their charges and they'll just get a cash advance every month, as much as, you know, they can, because I don't think cash advances are usually the same amount of your credit line. I don't know, I haven't looked into that, but I don't think so. But never get a cash advance on a card where you've charged stuff, because you will get double, quadruple dipped in interest. I learned the hard way. And that was, well, I can see it because I was desperate. That's when my first husband left me. Well, didn't leave me. He got taken out of here. But anyhow, yeah, I can see how someone can think, oh my gosh, and panic. But when I read that, I was more thinking of, they were talking about, oh, someone went out, you know, and charged stuff. You know how people like to go out and charge something, you know, you charge it, you get your gratification, you don't think about the bill. I never do that. I'm very, very careful with that. And like I said, my charges were back in 2016 when the monster deserted us, took off the year our son was supposed to have major surgery. Luckily, I had charge cards, and luckily I didn't use them, you know. I mean, I used them, you know, you have to use them or they shut them off, and then that ruins your credit score. But anyhow, I had them, and I had charged my, you know, my house, my mortgage, my water, my sewer, my power bill, my car insurance, everything. And lucky I had it. But then it took forever to, you know, pay it all off. But anyhow, so right away, to me, it struck. So maybe, if anyone answers the line that I said about the bills, what does that strike you as? Someone that, you know, just charges stuff and they have more charges, and then they can also feel defeated, like, oh, what the heck, it doesn't matter, and I'll just go charge more stuff. I don't know. So the law of attraction, which I think this is an example of, to me, I think, and I haven't read anything about it, I don't have the book, I don't know anything. All I know is it feels like, sort of like karma, kind of, too. I was going to look that up, but I'll do a thing about karma on another one. I kind of think I touched on karma somewhere. But anyhow, so it's kind of like what you put out there comes back to you. But I'd really have to think that through. So if you put out bills, let's say, so they're not talking about house bills, because if you get a house, I mean, you have to pay these kind of bills. That's the way it is. Let's say someone lives in an apartment and they go out charging. And so they're putting out into the universe that they just charge, don't think about it. Oh, well, I got my gratification, and then the bill comes. And then they're like, oh my gosh, you know, say they use 5, 6 charge cards, and then you got, you know, the minimum payment on each, and it's impossible, and if you don't pay the whole thing, then you're in a big mess, and on and on and on. So they're putting out there, they're doing a bunch of charging, which brings back to them, obviously, a lot of bills, but maybe either, like I say, they'll take a cash advance, which is really bad to do anyhow, to try to pay the bills, which will make another bill, or they'll just figure, oh, what the heck, I can't pay it anyhow, and I'll go charge. I don't know. So what does the law of attraction mean to you? And if you read anything about it, and you know all about it, tell me what it means before you read about it, what you thought it meant. And if you read the book, I think there's a book, or if you read about it, if you can tell me more about it, I'm going to look into it more. You know what, I think someone was talking about the movie Fatal Attraction. I think that, and then the word came of attraction. I remember about the law of attraction. Also, I remember a lot of YouTubers talk about your love language. I never heard about that. So that's the next thing I'm going to look up. But anyhow, let me know what you think about that law of attraction. How would you take that, what I said, which I've already forgot at the beginning about the bills. How would you interpret that? So let me know, or don't let me know, and I'll never know, and I'll just have to figure it out myself. You see, this is why I like comments. Not only to know you're okay, which is number one, but to get your take on things. Because, you know, if I just have my take, it's like, okay, that's my take. Nobody's take is right or wrong, but it's just interesting to know what other people think. Oh, have you ever watched the movie Fatal Attraction? I guess I'll never know that either. But anyhow, So if you can humor me and just write something about this, I'm very interested in this topic. So let me know or don't. I'm hoping you do. But anyhow, I'm going to look more into this because it seems interesting to me. So for now, don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the notification bell, share our channel, and our GoFundMe. Be kind to people. You don't know what they're going through. I also heard something more on one of these doctors I watch about another kind of disease that they're working with in a lab, and if it comes out, it's even going to be worse than the other thing, and this is horrifying, and the doctor said it's horrifying. Did you hear anything about that? I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to talk about something like that, but I'm just wondering if you heard about it. It's very, very frightening. I don't know, scary. Can you use the word scary? And it's really, well, that's a good example of law of attraction in a bad way, but it's really just shows the way our society is sick. Not everybody, but I guess more as a whole, people are sick to even allow this kind of thing to go on. But anyhow, I didn't want to end on a bad note. I just thought of it as a ending thing, question, because I'm just wondering if anyone else heard that, or if you even watch doctor channels on here, or people that are doctors that have a channel. I don't know, whatever way you look at it. Anyhow, hope you're having a good time and everything's going good. It was another hot day today. Boy, was it a hot one. It was horrible for me. I barely was in my room because it's very, very hot in my room. And got to get through the rest of the week with this heat. So for now, I hope you're having a good time, enjoying life. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you again. Bye for now.